That sets the stage for our final match. You saw it in division standings, Muzzy versus Purple. Three-way tie for second place, which means that the winner of this effectively puts himself in playoff spot. The other player is on the outside looking in. Double Priest ban, with the Reno Mage being banned away from Muzzy and the Druid banned away from Purple. So we have Priests and then Shaman Warrior versus Priest, or versus Paladin and Druid. Any thoughts here, TJ?
The respect. The respect for the Reno Mage. Like to see it. Overall, I don't think that's a big surprise. It feels like Reno Mage was just a good call for Muzzy. Has a lot of good matchups across the board, and I just don't think Purple wanted to have to deal with that in the lineup. Especially since, maybe it's not the most practiced matchup. It's when you prep during the week, you're prepping for both opponents, and if you just want to kind of throw that one out the window and not have to worry about kind of finding these slight edges in a matchup where it's already going to be bad for you, just ban it away. And we're going to go into game one. Purple gets the good matchup with the Warrior. I call it a good matchup, but that hasn't been the case thus far, right? It feels like Warrior's been losing to Priest more often than it's been beating Priest, at least in Grandmasters.
Yeah, but that's because I feel like Priest has had an abnormally large percentage of games drawn by Northshire Cleric. And today, TJ, I think I haven't seen a Northshire Cleric on the board the whole day. We haven't seen actually a lot of Priest games. Only like 3 or 4.
There's been a lot of Priest bans. And not a lot of Priest protects.
We've had 4 Priest protected and 5 Priest bans.
And a lot of those Priest protects are coming from players who are also banning Priests. But we're also seeing more strategies combating Priests this week. We're seeing like Plague of Murlocs and Earthshocks making their way into Shamans.
Yeah, Priest seems very beautiful.
Hey,
emphasis on seams. Purple has the Plague of Wrath and the Brawl, so he's got removal. Does Muzzy have the pressure? Circle of Healing, not enough. And so this is a situation that the Priest often does run into, which is without Northshire Cleric, they're just kind of stuck with whatever hand that they have. This is definitely not one of those hands where you want to immediately go for topsy-turvy and pressure just because you can.
Yeah, I went right into Restless Mummy after seeing Towncrier on 1. Also just not a good play. But
Right.
Might be just a all-face and pass for Muzzy. I don't know if you want to develop more with the threat of a Brawl.
I wonder.
If you see Brawl, you can redevelop into it with the cards you have in hand.
Well,
how greedy does Purple want to be? With this hand, I think you can afford to be quite greedy.
I would say that he can be kind of greedy here. I'd even be okay using Shield Slam in this position, just to shut down the 2-8. Your opponent had an opportunity to Cleric the previous turn, did not. I just don't want any possible way to lose, which is Divine Spirit, Inner Fire. If he just ends up using it on the 2-3, he'd still be alive to that. Divine Spirit, Inner Fire, I believe. No, he wouldn't. Yes, he would. Yes, he would.
Yeah, he would. Be 33. The problem is then he'd be forced to Spellbreaker. And then there'd be 3 damage on board. He'd have to coin armor up.
Still works.
I guess he'd have 4 health, so he wouldn't be exactly dead. But
Yeah, still a very rough spot here for Muzzy. Looks like he can commit a little bit more to the board with the injured Tolvir. If he had committed a previous turn, Brawl would have been too effective, I think.
I don't even know if I want to commit anything.
I wonder.
I guess
Life is enough.
having an opening for like Northshire Cleric by keeping Intertolvir, developing the Neferset Ritualist seems like a fine middle ground where you're still developing to try and pressure, but You're not giving up potential for draws off the top to get you back in the game.
Yep. That sounds reasonable to me. Purple with a Brawl. Just wants to limit the options of Priest.
These brawls today, man.
The Warriors and their Brawls have just been absolutely filthy.
Yeah. Was he looking for Bwansamdi, Northshire Cleric?
Bwansamdi.
Oh! Got some life in us still.
Yeah, but now Purple gets the opportunity to play Armageddillo.
If anything goes terribly wrong, but Purple has Warpath Plague of Wrath to fall back on.
Right. Exactly. Ooh. Divine Spirit and Topsy Turvy. This is starting to get pretty spicy. Now we finally see some big opportunities for Muzzy. Double Cleric, Beaming Sidekick.
Things are starting to get interesting now. Muzzy's got double Northshire Cleric now, so Purple knows that.
He knows that developing minions means that Northshire Cleric gets a potential double draw.
But if he doesn't develop minions, does he deal with the Bwansamdi?
He knows 5 cards in the hand are from the Bwansamdi too. If he coins a Tomb Warden, one of them dies. But he does get to at least stop a little bit of that pressure.
What now?
He wants to go for the Warpath Plague of Death. Okay.
Well, he could Warpath, coin Restless Mummy.
Ah, I like that too. That's good.
So it leaves nothing on Muzzy's board and nothing on his board, which is ideal.
No tomb can hold me. No tomb can hold me.
It does give Muzzy a setup turn, though. He can play Light Warden. He picks up extra arms. That's interesting. Now he can Light Warden extra arms. Twice, actually. Set up 2 reasonable threats, and then if Purple plays anything else...
And he gets to heal with the Northshire Clerics.
Then he gets to start doing Northshire Cleric stuff.
Ooh, Northshire Cleric stuff. I'm a fan.
Fan as well.
In the light's name.
Muzzy could end up taking it slow and just putting 1 extra arms and passing.
Weak to Dynomatic.
I think I like using more cards here.
More cards with more arms.
Hey, I got you, friend.
Well, this is still protects against Dynomatic while not expending the more arms.
Right, he might need that more arms as a way to push through things, or maybe to make Divine Spirit better.
In the light's name.
There's only 1 Dynomatic in Purple's list.
Wow. Restless Mummy drawn again.
So is it just Restless Mummy and then Armor Up? To not give any potential for Northshire Cleric to draw cards?
That does seem pretty decent option. I think the one thing that you're afraid of is Wild Pyromancer.
That's true. If you don't kill Light Warden and while Pyromancer comes out, Muzzy's drawing a lot of cards, and he's also dealing a lot of damage.
No tomb can hold me.
And I think that's a play against Wild Pyromancer almost explicitly, because he dealt with both Light Wardens.
Right.
Muzzy could get cards off the Northshire Cleric, but it's at the expense of healing Purple's minion.
Yeah, or using more arms and then trading first into the...
Trading first, yeah, that's also an
I
option.
must consider.
But he has a lot of card draw right now available to him.
Yeah. And he hasn't used any of like his combo pieces. He still has double Divine Spirit, double Inner Fire, as well as a Power Word Shield.
Is someone injured? Is someone
It's looking
injured?
like I draw a lot of cards turn to me.
It's 2 here. He could also bank another 4 with a Circle of Healing.
Yes. It's a lot of cards. Powerward Shield. Another Silence. Protect his clerics, but does he even really want to? It's kind of hard to say because they are liabilities. Trading into the mummy so he can protect his board a little bit more. Just needs one of these minions to stick.
Okay.
Thing is, purple has definitive answer through the Plague of Wrath Warpath. He does not have to commit to this. He can play 2 Morden, pass, let Muzzy extend more to the board.
Yeah, purple playing the double Plague of Wrath list with the Whirlwind. Gives him extra removal against priests and druids. It's been pretty popular this week, actually. I think 4 of the Control Warrior players in the Americas had that list. Plus, a couple more in Europe. People are listening to Admiral too much these days.
Purple did not look happy with that trade. He was pretty deep in the thought tank there. You can see him. It's been a while since I've seen purple this, I guess, engaged into focused onto the game. Usually he seems to be a little bit more lighthearted and laughing about certain things and kind of making more whimsical expressions. But now it seems like he's actively in purple mode, which is, this seems to be like a solvable game state. How can I figure things out? And the reason why it's solvable is because Muzzy's drawn 26 cards of his deck.
Yeah.
So now Purple's like, okay, I just assume he has everything. What can I do that's best against that? And now Muzzy's like, well, I have double Silence. I have a Divine Spirit, but no Inner Fire. But if I did, I only have 10 damage. Right now, Purple is clear from any game-ending combo, I think.
Move quickly.
Muzzy, I think, wants to get as much board presence, and I think that involves Untitled Grandmaster. I would like to see him try to go for a High Priest Met. I think that's the card that he's looking for. He finds it. Divine Spirit, Inner Fire. Okay. So this is a move, what looks like to me, is Muzzy saying, I want you to clear this off and use the last of your removal tools, and then I'm just going to tempo you out of the game with Met and Psychopomp.
Yeah.
That's really interesting. Because normally a Divine Spirit Inner Fire means the game is over, but looks like Muzzy's using all of his combo pieces mid-stage of the game.
That's weird. He doesn't have a Topsy-Turvy left.
No, he's just going to try to Met and tempo.
He needs a lot of time.
Interesting. Oh, he knows a second Silence exists. Okay.
Yeah.
I was like, why is he not saving the Eternity Remover? But the second Silence means that he has more stats on the board.
Yeah, because that's both Inner Fire's gone, Topsy-Turvy gone.
Yep. And now Muzzy with his Pyromancer at the bottom of his deck. He can heal the 5/5.
Yeah, man. The Inner Fire just means he has no way to close it out. Like, I get he wants to tempo him out of the game, but like he's gonna do it with 3 attack minions.
3 and 4 attack minions.
That's assuming.
a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, High Priest of Met, Psychopomp, and then next turn you play like Injured Blade Masters, Psychopomp again. It's like, that's just a lot of stuff.
It is, but it also means that even if purple does nothing except armor up, you still need 3 turns of attacking to win.
Quickly.
He's really hoping to revive something big.
Yeah.
Chances are he
In
doesn't.
the light's name.
Okay.
Light Warden.
Light Warden can get it done with a Circle of Healing.
And now, that Plague of Wrath hold that Purple has been expertly holding on to for a while now is going to pay off in spades. It's the optimal way to do this. It looks like to me, bump with everything except a single 1/1, play Plague Wrath, then trade. That's it.
Yep.
Muzzy's hope, last hope is Psychopomp reviving. Exactly a met.
I'm out of cards.
The end begins.
I mean, that's a good one. It's not good enough.
Not good enough.
You have bet.
That's it. Muzzy concedes. Warrior outlasts the Priest down to its 30th card, and that brings purple up 1-0. First Q Priest, a little bit too easy to predict sometimes, but in the same note, Priest is also that good. Still gave Warrior a run for his money.
Yeah, there's still a lot of players who are in the mindset that why wouldn't you Q Priest first? Just the best deck. It barely has any bad matchups. Players are starting to tech their decks better against Priest. Players are starting to take the risk and Q something different in game one. Q a counter matchup. So things are changing.
Think the times are changing, and Priest is starting to fall. This week seems to be the week of OTK Paladin. Last week was Priest. The week before that was Druid, and week 1 was Mage. Different class for a different week. We're going to take a break. Our last of the day, our last of this week's broadcast for Grandmasters. And we've come back. We're going to have the conclusion of Muzzy versus Purple.
Legends say powerful treasures are hidden everywhere here in Aldum.
If we hope to defeat Rafam, we'll need as many as we can get. He's already unleashed the ancient plague lords and countless monsters. Keep them distracted, Reno.
Not a problem. This plan is totally gonna work. Ain't that right, Finley?
Oh, yes! I have them right where I want them.
There is an artifact here. The name is...
The scales of justice. Oh, it must be really fancy.
only to be used in a time of great peril. Yes, I think this qualifies.
Hey, look, Finley. You've lured one of the Plague Lords.
Take this, fiend!
In the face! Yeah! Hey, guys, get that treasure. We've got a Plague Lord to destroy.
Yes, please, hurry!
Not to worry, Finley. We just push this thing right here.
No, that's a trap! Watch out!
It's all good. I am phonily tied.
Gracious me!
What we actually need to do is press this. And there.
A
Fish.
No! It's the scales of justice!
Oh. Ah, who wants to use it first?
Oh, I do. Me. On second thought, maybe give it to Finley.
All you had to do was hold a rope.
Here we go, blaming the tall, ruggedly handsome guy again.
Mazahidul Islam. I go by Muzzy in game. My username, as you know, my first name is Mazahidul. It's kind of difficult to say for some people, and every time someone calls you, you know, they're gonna have to say, "Hey, Mazahidul." You know, that's long, and you don't want to say that. My friend gave me a nickname, you know, like, "Hey Muzz, hey Muzzy." So I sort of just took that, and you know, name's Muzzy. I took a look at the list of players. Some of them have been more focused on streaming, I would say, in these past few years. I've participated at the highest levels of competition that they might not have appeared in. I'm the player to beat in my group, for sure. The thing that I most look forward to about competing in Grandmasters is the thrill of the competition. It's really why I play Hearthstone. It's what I've enjoyed doing for the past 3-4 years, and it's what I'll continue to enjoy doing, hopefully. I think Hearthstone Instinct is definitely my my greatest skill set. I think that if I took a break for a while and didn't play the game and came back to new cards, I think I could pilot a new deck fairly well, fairly quickly. People would always mention the term burnout to me. Burnout, burnout, burnout. I didn't know what it was. I would constantly play Hearthstone all the time. I definitely want to have more titles and put my name in Hearthstone history.
Muzzy versus Purple currently ongoing as we prepare for a Priest versus Priest to potentially close out week number 4 here. Welcome back to our last best of 3, where the winner gets a spot in the top 4 in the current standings, which is positioning them for playoffs. As we get ready to progress further, we do want to remind everybody that we're only going to have 3 weeks left of the broadcast, TJ, and then we're going to send another couple of players over to the Global Finals. Playoffs is going to be a really exciting time.
It is. We have a more robust playoffs for the second season. We have 4 players from each division qualifying. We also have a best-of-5 semifinals and finals instead of just the best-of-5 finals. So should be a fun time. But going into this pre-smear, not much difference in text. The only real difference is that Purple has a forbidden words in his priest list instead of a topsy-turvy, I guess, is what was cut for it.
It's good for the mirror.
Yeah, Muzzy has the double silence and
quickly.
and only a single wild pyromancer.
Is someone injured?
Muzzy with the wince sees the early Northshire cleric. That's going to be hard to beat. Ooh.
Ooh. Now, the turn 1 Northshire Cleric, yes, you know, we memed about it a bunch, and it is good, but the more I see it, the more I like trying to hold on to it and be greedy. Obviously, this matchup, it's kind of hard to do that, because if you lose control of the board, you lose the game.
Quickly.
In the light's name.
This looks like a double 1-drop, and the next turn you can attack and heal and kill the Northshire cleric. I don't think you need to silence here.
I got you, friend.
Silence can be used after they play their Untitled. This is a very weird spot for Purple. Any heal that he does to draw a card buffs the Light Ward on the other side.
Even if he doesn't bump and heal, Muzzy can then bump and heal.
Life is an
Just gotta make do with it. Injured Tolvir. Pretty good in this spot outside of more arms punishing you.
Yeah.
So I think you go for this. You go for the trade. Onto the Northshire Cleric. Push face. Back order Purple. So now Purple has to start considering about what he wants to invest to a Psychopomp pool, which makes me think that Injured Blade Master here is what he's going to go for.
Yep. It's all about keeping the board in check as well with the preemptive trade.
Oh my. Let's see what Muzzy can pick up off this Power Word Shield. Finds Ahmet.
Not much follow-up for it in his hand right now, but it is just a good card in the matchup in general. If you can land yours first, gives you a lot of control. Muzzy okay with just kind of keeping control of this board. This Light Warden just is not going to be dealt with.
Oh my goodness.
Yep.
Psychopomp has a couple of ways it can backfire. Northshire Cleric is actually not that good in this scenario for Psychopomp. It's pretty easy for your opponent just to kill it.
Yeah, I mean, everything honestly just gets traded into on board, but at least Injured Blade Master requires a big investment from Muzzy in order to do that.
It's true, and also Muzzy would have to heal in order to avoid giving up a free kill. Wow. Oh, wow. That is big. It's not over. It's not determined yet. Muzzy does have a pretty interesting opportunity to use Topsy-Turvy in this spot.
I must consider.
Also, maybe a silence for tempo here.
Yeah, you know, the silence for tempo makes sense.
Oh.
Oh, and then silence to join silence. Okay.
Wow.
It's really nifty.
That's
I like
fancy.
that. Well done there.
That was really well done. I didn't spot that one.
Yeah, now Purple, anything he does, anything he gets sets up, dies.
Yeah, if he got Mets and beaming sidekicks, Muzzy just heals and trades over the Met.
That's a brilliant play from Muzzy. Well done.
So
I was thinking about Topsy-Turvy, trade into the thing, and then just kill it off. But I was like, but then you're kind of weak to the 3-1.
then he develops. So
Right.
Light Warden here, though, makes it difficult for Muzzy because he heals. If he heals his own Light Warden, it buffs the opposing one. It's at 7 health. But if he leads that Met up, then it gives a huge opportunity.
Well, you could Divine
Purple.
Spirit here, too.
Heal Divine Spirit.
It's tricky. Muzzy, oh, he's deep in a tank.
He can also.
Muzzy, come up for air.
Consider.
He could also just trade over on Met, leave his Light Warden at 1, and play his own on Met.
He's really vulnerable to a couple of things there, but...
I mean, no matter what play he does, I think he's vulnerable to a lot of things.
Well, if he... Yeah, I guess you're right. I guess you might as well heal the 4-3 because...
Either way, the Light Warden
Either way, the
trades
lower
into
warden,
the
yeah.
opposing Light Warden.
Not too quickly.
It's getting weird.
It's getting very weird. You know, actually, the 7-3 becomes much more threatening because Purple can't just, like, heal and then get an easy trade either.
Yeah, if there's health buffs.
Right. Which is the case because of beaming sidekicks. Another good setup here by Muzzy, but then Purple has the answer through the double beaming sidekick. But double beaming sidekick means that Purple trades into the Light Warden, then he has a High Priest of Met. So the Injured Blade Master was a really nice play here from Muzzy. So then he can play High Priest of Met Divine Spirit and ride that for a while.
There's always the hidden Forbidden Words tech from Purple that could come into play, though, with all this.
That's where the deck building comes into play here for Purple. If he can find his Forbidden Words, his deck building preparation will reward him. But from this position, it looks like Muzzy has accounted for a Power Word Shield and a Beaming Sidekick setup. And if you're in Purple's camp, do you acknowledge that?
Not too quickly.
It feels like I just want to play out everything here.
Yeah, what he could do is play everything. The Cleric goes to...
Speak to me.
Yeah, he can honestly,
health.
he can honestly Circle of Healing.
Hey, I got you, friend.
Oh, I was thinking double trade over the Light Warden. So you double beaming sidekick the Light Warden, trade over your opponent's Light Warden. It's at 2 health. You Circle of Healing. Yes, it heals your opponent's Injured Blade Master. But then all of a sudden you have a 7/5 Light Warden that can't be killed by your opponent's Injured Blade Master.
What do you think
does that make
about
sense?
Divine
must
Spirit
consider.
this position?
So you bring it up to 6, trade
Then
over
you
the Light
trade,
Warden,
and then you heal it.
and then it goes up to 5. Doesn't die on board.
And then it's like pretty resilient against Forbidden Words and other things like that.
Oh yeah, Forbidden Words is never touching it. There's not enough mana that exists in the game to touch that Light Warden.
I think I like that.
Yeah.
Not too quickly.
If they Bwansamdi, if they have Bwansamdi, I think you're in trouble either way.
Yeah. If they got Bwansamdi, you got me.
He just wants to deny the card draw, shutting off Pyromancer. Bwansamdi, the
right.
next draw.
You got me.
Well, yeah. Bwansamdi makes this real hard for Muzzy. Unless he draws Bwansamdi next turn.
Well, Ahmet can do a lot.
It's true, and to be fair, but Purple's already drawn most of his 1-drops. And also, Muzzy still has an 11 health minion on board. This is almost a situation where I don't want to heal Ahmet.
Yeah, but if you don't heal Ahmet, it dies.
Right.
Guaranteed.
So you never set Ritualist and then Acolyte?
I don't think you want to... If it's going to die anyway, then you want to limit the amount of power that the Light Warden's going to have.
So the Light Warden, you would trade into the Light Warden and then you never set Ritualist.
I would want to Acolyte of Pain, never set Ritualist on the side of the Acolyte of Pain, and then don't attack anything with
I was thinking of bumping into this and then Ritualist.
Okay, that makes sense. You just sacrifice some health on your never set Ritualist, but I think the health is most important on the Acolyte of Pain. But now Purple has a lot of good things to do here. Northshire Cleric.
Is someone injured?
Light Warden, injured Tolvir, Circle of Healing.
It's a lot, and I think this is a blowout
Yeah.
potential here.
Yep.
Not killing the Light Warden is really starting to bite Muzzy.
Yep. I mean, I understand his position.
Oh boy. Woo. It's about to get a lot worse. That Forbidden Word's devastating. That has to be the game. There's just no way Muzzy can come back.
There's zero way. Yep.
Purple with the crushing Game 2 victory. It was on a knife's edge, back and forth. But a single trade can make a world of difference.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, you got to understand Muddy's position. He needed to try and make that Light Warden go as far as possible. And he thought that the best way to do it was just by killing a lot of minions at once. But that Divine Spirit line that you brought up just felt like it was the best play onto the board.
Right.
Gave him the most resiliency against just about anything that Purple could have done outside of Wild Pyromancer shenanigans with the Acolyte of Pain. Maybe he limits the draw there, has a read on a Wild Pyro, but not enough. That matchup can just slip away in an instant, and it did.
All right. Well, Purple with a 2-0 victory. Let's go ahead and check in with him. Purple, can you hear us?
Yeah, what's up, dudes?
Nice. So how do you feel about today's games on your end?
Well, I respect Muzzy as a person and a player, so I figured Muzz is going to queue Priest game 1. So I did the stupid thing, right? Because when you're going up against someone smart, you go stupid. So I picked the Warrior, and he played the Priest because he's smart. And, yeah, he was never winning that game, so that went great. And then game 2 was one of the most awkward Priest mirrors I've ever played. Granted, I don't play much Priest, but neither of us had a kill hand from the start. Then he had a sizable lead. I got a 1-in-3 Blade Master pull to carry me back. And then, like, no one did anything powerful. And then I drew Bonsabi, so I won. And it was just a weird game overall. Generally, someone dies on turn 2. And it just didn't happen this time around.
Yeah, usually it's the player that lands the Cleric, but then you somehow, it looked like you were falling too far behind, and the revive from the Psycho Pop really yanked you back in that game because it drained all of his resources. But, yeah, overall felt like pretty nice from your end. Now, if we take a look at the standings, you're second in your division, tied with Eddie and Gallon and
God, that is so embarrassing being tied with Gallon. I play him next week again. Last time I lost to him. I'd made to make this embarrassing tweet. Listen, Gallon, buddy, you're not going 2-0 against me in Grandmaster. It's like the worst thing that could ever happen to him. He's gonna have I've been trying to keep his ego in check for years, and it's gonna blow out of control, Dan. I'm very worried.
You see him coming up on these winter interviews, just blasting and firing shots at everybody. He's just machine gunning his first season here in Grandmasters. We need someone to humble him, Purple.
Well, clearly Firebat wasn't able. He man, that was something, trying to faceless Brewmaster that Feliciano.
Yeah. He really wanted to. He got the mini objective done, which is style points.
There's a reason you don't do that, and the reason is even when it works, the best case scenario is you go to turn limit, it's a tie. So it doesn't really do much.
All right, well, some fun commentary from Purple to wrap it up. Are you about to stream? Are you about to head off to the stream?
Dinner and stream, yeah.
All right, cool. So check out Purple on his Twitch channel later. But for now, thanks for joining us, and can't wait to see you go up against Gallon next week.
Catch you later.
All right, so Purple always very tongue-in-cheek, but always comes off as playful. People who look at his personality might think that he's being serious. He's very rarely serious about that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I wonder if they're going to go double or nothing for what the tweet will be next week for whoever wins that matchup. Because I remember when Gallon won, he said, I asked him how it felt to go up against a friend, or you asked him, and he said, just check Twitter. Just check his tweet after.
I get these messages from Gallon saying, oh, I really hope I win because I have so many things to say in the interview. And he ends up just debating about with us with plays for 5 minutes. I'm like, all right, well, that's not the time that we have.
And then he never gets to say what he wants to
say. He gets to say his bit. All right, let's go ahead and recap today to finish off the broadcast. Start off with Frozen versus Zalay, where it was a very uncharacteristic day for Zalay. He was not playing anywhere near the level that we come to expect from him, just punting a couple of situations away. But Frozen stuck to his guns. His OTK Paladin definitely came out swinging for the first series.
Yeah, and surprisingly, we had a lot of 2-0s today with how long it felt like the matches went. But
some tense matches. We had a Warrior Mirror with Gallon versus Firebat. Amnesiac and Reyes came down to the wire in a few games. Fatigue. Now Gallon versus Strifeco. Even the Shaman versus the Mech Paladin almost came out Fatigue.
Yeah.
A lot of intense back and forth, but we wrapped that with two quick ones with Purple versus Muzzy getting that win. But that's not going to stop us. Next Friday, we continue our second round robin group matches. Strifeco versus Muzzy is going to kick things off. Strifeco needing that win, but he is one game ahead of ETC. That is the pace that we're setting. Monsanto versus Zalay. Both players looking to redeem themselves for some of the misplays that we saw in Week 4.
Yeah, Purple versus ETC. I mean, you mentioned it. ETC really needs to start picking up wins if he wants to avoid relegation. Eddie versus Gallon, that's going to be kind of that battle for second place to see who can move up and try and challenge Nalgadon. And then we'll finish off with Frozen versus PNC, another player kind of fighting to get out of that relegation spot right now, which I feel like the pressure's on. Playoffs, there's 4 slots, right? You can kind of bide your time and wait and try and make that push towards the end of the season to get one of those 4 playoff spots. But relegation is just every week. If you're in that bottom spot, that pressure weighs on your shoulders. And for PNC, I hope that a player who seems to succumb to pressure a lot, at least this season from his own admission, hope that he doesn't let it affect it too much and can come out with some strong decks, some strong play.
All right, well, that does it for us in week number 4 for this broadcast. We've had a lot of fun games, a lot of highlights and lowlights. And if you want to see any of it, check it out at playhearthstone.com/esports for the decks, the schedule, the VODs, and a whole lot more. Next Friday at 2 a.m. Pacific, we're going to start things over once again here, twitch.tv/playhearthstone. Make sure you link your account so you can get eligibility for the Twitch drops for free packs. For Frodance, EJ, and everyone here in Studio 5 in Burbank, California, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time for more Hearthstone action.